Hello my beautiful friends, how are you today? I hope you're really well. I need to remember to actually intro my videos because last week I didn't, and honestly it was the weirdest thing to watch back. I was like, are you okay, sister friend? So hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I'm going to spend the next half an hour together just chilling and catching up. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, and I would love to have you along for this journey. We have some incredible news to share today and some amazing videos to come over the next few months that I am beyond and inexplicably excited for. I do just want to say though that yesterday I went to see The Devil Wears Prada 2. That's all. And I absolutely loved it. I was so nervous because I always feel like if an absolute legendary movie tries to do a number 2, tries to do a second one, I should say, probably more appropriate. Often the vibe is, why did you bother? This was not like that at all. This really smashed it. Right, I'm going to leave you here because the dogs are growling at each other, play fighting, and I'm going to show you some clips. We went to the Tivoli cinema in Cheltenham, one of those fancy ones, and it was gorgeous. But these girls need to stop. Oh my goodness. So this is what is in the background of every video, is these girls doing this. Right, okay. Right, that's enough. Go to your corners. Right, I'm going to show you some clips of the cinema and then we will see you back here in a minute. Do you call it cinema or cinema? I feel like cinema sounds really fancy and posh, but actually is that the correct way? I never know. I truly never know. For those of you who don't know, I went to school in Crosby in Liverpool. I went to a Catholic school. So therefore my accent, I find, is very muddled. I grew up in Lancashire on a farm, went to school in Crosby, and then was in London for 10 years. Riley, come here please. So effectively I spent equal amounts north as I have south. So my accent's a little bit, what day is it? Where am I? I can just as easily be like, I'm going to go and run you a bath upstairs, if that's all right with you. Be like, I'm gonna go run you a bath, and then the dogs have a scrap. So my accent kind of does kind of switch and change. Nothing to do with whom I am around and what circle I'm in that moment. I'm not one of those peeps, but it's more so just how conscious I am of what I'm saying or not. So yeah, just a weird one that I just wanted to mention because I look back on my videos and I sometimes don't even understand myself. Sometimes I look back on my videos with a smidge of confusion. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys did too. So today I'm just having a really relaxed kind of home reset day. I just dropped Etta off at nursery and it was bright sunny skies, and then now the heavens have opened and it's like, looks like the day after tomorrow. So I hope I've sent my little cub off with the right clothing. She's always got lots in her backpack anyway. Always send lots of spare clothes in her backpack to school. And now I've just come back and I'm back to journal, something I've started doing again. And previously, when I've done journaling, I've done it because I know it's good for me. Whereas this time I picked up my pen and journal again purely because I felt very stressed and anxious about the thought of making more notes on my phone. I feel like my phone is so backed up with notes and images, videos, text, everything, that it's now a complete stress pot in my eyes. I can't find any passwords, I can't find any specific notes, or I sometimes make notes of lyrics or quotes and things like that that I love to look back at. And now I can't find anything. I really cannot, even if I do the search, it just sometimes doesn't come up and it really annoys me. So I truly have decided to take a step back and go back to the written word. Do you know what I mean? And I hope I'm not the only one, because it's so cathartic. Is that the right word? And therapeutic, and my mind is in a much calmer place when I'm making my kind of to-do lists on paper rather than my phone. Whenever I'm on my phone, I'm constantly annoyed at myself for being on my phone. I'm just one of those people, like, I don't like the feeling of being on my phone. It makes me feel lesser than the person I want to be. Whereas doing things like reading and writing makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, and makes me feel proud of myself, and therefore all the good emotions that come with that. So I want to talk about these. Actually, these were way more than I ever expected to spend on gel pens. I can't remember how much they were actually, but I remember being like, ooh, and then just biting the bullet, because I miss sparkly gel pens. From school days, I missed sparkly gel pens, and these Calm Over Chaos. I found her TikTok, the girl who does these, and the quality of the glitter and the pigment, and they just hit different than the ones that I bought at Tesco, basically. So I think you guys should come with me on this journey of reversing back to writing things down, because I know for a fact it will make you feel just as good as I do doing it. So I'm just going to pick up a pen. I'm going to go with green today. Talk about what I'm grateful for, what's going to make today great, daily affirmations, things like that. And then at the end of the day, I talk about what I've learned today, what the best part was, and I'm just loving it. So I'm going to do some journaling and make a cup of tea. One of my favourite things to watch on YouTube is cleaning videos, and I've never thought to do one before. However, today I need to clean, I need to tidy, I need to remake the beds, I need to make a bag for charity and a bag to sell on Vinted. I need to reorganise some things. I need to wash the dog's beds as well, and mattress covers on Etta's beds. I say beds because she's got a Posy and Pentonda bed and then her cot. So I thought, so that I can do everything in one go, why don't we do it together? And you can see how I kind of nail that horrible build-up that sometimes we get to. Like, I literally have things in the dryer that I need to get out that I haven't got out. The washing just needs a better rotation today. So yeah, let's do a time lapse. Some nice Western music. We know how much it thrills me. Am I going to keep quoting The Devil Wears Prada throughout this video? Possibly. Brace yourself. So yes, basically I reckon we just do a big old satisfying clean together and a reset. So grab your disinfectant spray and let's get cracking. Whiskey and I are currently sat on the staircase because you will be able to hear white noise. I'm so sorry about that. But my baby girl is just drifting off to sleep. I've just done the nursery pickup. We've just had a massive cuddle in bed. She is pure magic, and I know everyone probably feels like this about their child, but her skin, her nose, eyes, her hair, every single feature, every single cell on her body is a miracle in my eyes. Nothing will ever compare to the way I feel when I'm around my baby, or rather how I feel since having my baby. But if anyone watching this is pregnant or trying for a baby, prepare for your rebirth when you give birth, because I can't remember life before. I really can't. I can't remember I can't imagine what I would think about all day, every day before having Etta. It feels like it was all just practice, or like a prep, or like the starter. It feels like it's the starter of life and this is the main course. It's just beautiful. You can't put it into words. Speaking of which, there is this picture I took of Etta when she was in her ballet outfit in this house. And because this house is very... Oh, actually, this is from a comment a couple of videos ago, which I absolutely loved. Somebody said it's giving Jane Austen vibes. And I was like, sister friend, that is what it's giving. And I didn't even realise it. So that's what we have here. It's Jane Austen house. That's what we're going to say that it is from now on. This house is a Jane Austen house, okay? So Etta was in her ballet outfit and she kind of did this turn, and I took a photo of her, and I've just fallen in love with that photo. I love the fact that you can't see her face, but you can see her silhouette. And I really wanted it drawn. Real artistry, real talent. Obviously you cannot replicate. However, until I can afford to have this properly drawn by the girl who did the portraits of my two dogs, until I can afford it for Etta as well, I have done it via ChatGPT, and it will have to do for now. But regardless, it gives me the same effect. It does not give the same feeling. It will feel more special. And I know that it's effectively that authentic drawing of my beautiful baby girl. However, in the interim, here is the judge. I love how she's got her little leg warmers for ballet. I even love that her little bluey book is here. But her hair, how it's a bun, but it's like a messy bun. Obviously her little ballet outfit, the doors here. I just completely adore this portrait more than I can put into words. I got this scalloped wooden frame from Home Sense a couple of weeks ago, and I knew I wanted it to be for this. Honestly, my favourite thing I've ever found at Home Sense by far. And then interestingly and incredibly sentimentally, this wicker that you're seeing behind, in between the portrait and the border, I knew I had a gap there and I wanted to put an extra border, and I didn't know what it was going to be. I wanted it to be a different texture than the wood and the paper. That is the Moses basket that Etta lay on when she was a baby. So I've cut out a rectangle from the Moses basket, and that's what's there. So that is part of her Moses basket when she was a tiny, tiny girl. And that just obviously brings a whole different level and depth of sentimental value of this portrait. So, you know, Lord knows if there was a fire in this house, touch wood that there won't be. If there was, I'd obviously grab my child, my dogs, maybe my husband, but I would be grabbing this purely because the Moses basket, the portrait, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I thought for this part of the video we could do a bit of skincare together, because I struggled with my skin when I was a teenager. Then I was fully prepared when I got pregnant to have a kind of relapse of acne and really, really bad skin, because I heard that that's very, very common, especially if you suffered with acne as a teenager. I didn't have it really bad as a teenager, but it was enough to cause me to go on Roaccutane, and it had an impact on my confidence for sure. But the skincare I was using all through pregnancy and after pregnancy, I honestly think is the remedy that has kept my skin from having those really regular breakouts and the pigmentation that I was slowly but very surely building. So I feel like I've reversed a bit of pigmentation and I've really hit a sweet spot with my skin and the ingredient list that is in each of the products that I use. So I thought I could do some skincare. I love watching these videos. I love finding out what other people use for their skin. So I thought, why don't I share mine as well? One or two people may absolutely love hearing about it. I certainly hope so. Okay, first of all, I've recently invested in better body care as well as skincare. So this Elemis, I think, is a really lovely price point to be okay with consistently buying for myself. I cannot tell you how beautiful this is to use. It smells epic. The consistency is stunning and it actually cleans you. I find that so many cream cleansers just feel like you're putting cream on and then seem to almost repel water and not actually collaborate with the water, so therefore leave your skin feeling cleansed, if that makes any sense at all. But this doesn't do that. This is really, I can give this a solid 10 out of 10. This is my favourite thing since sliced bread. Let me show you. Right, I can't get you any taller, so this will have to do. Right, so Elemis, I think we all know how phenomenal Elemis is. Oh my god, the smell of this is unbelievable. I've used the yellow one, which I think is the like original one, several times a few years ago. Then I used the Eve Lom cleanser and I just missed using this. I think it was around Christmas time they came out with black cherry one, Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm, and honestly, guys, I wish I could portal this smell to you through the camera. It is the nicest smell I think I've ever found in a skincare product. So obviously you guys know how to cleanse your face. I'm not going to pretend that I expect to import wisdom into anybody here today, but this is my cleanser. And I don't double cleanse. I used to, but I do not double cleanse. I'll show you why in a minute. Eyes, it just melts it away like cream. The way this cleanser suits my skin is the way butter suits toast, like the way you glide butter along a piece of perfectly toasted bread. Perfectly toasted toast is how I find this love match to be between this cleanser and my skin. I'm not gonna lie, I do quite hot water. I love hot water because I do not use a towel to wipe. I use one of these, which is basically just a very thick tissue. I just think it is the most sanitary way. I really kind of sit the hot water on my face to open up my pores. Dab, 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 dab. I always give this a polish. Virgo OCD in me always gives this little top polish. Next step, cleansing pads. And this is really quite funny because this is not in its correct container, okay? I have put the Medicube cleansing pads into the Elemis one. I used to use the dynamic resurfacing cleansing pads. But then I tried the Medicube ones and I thought they were better because the pad is almost like twice as thick. I feel like it's got twice as much product on and it really suits my skin. Whatever I'm putting on my skin really, really seems to suit it. You see? And I know how silly it is, but colour intensity on items in my home, highly saturated tones of blues and reds, makes me feel stressed. I'm completely affected by my surroundings and I love a neutral tone. I love a rich colour but in a kind of olive green sense rather than a periwinkle blue, if that makes sense. Also, when I have those kind of bright colours around me, it makes me have visual clutter and therefore that makes me feel a bit of a mess internally. It's the same thing with artificial lighting. It all falls into the same category to me in my brain. I think bright colours in the right environment, like if you're going to Disneyland, for example, is exciting and provokes a feeling of adrenaline. But in my home, I just can't deal with it. So that's why I have decanted the Medicube bright blue boxed pads into my Elemis white tube with the silver top. It just seems to suit me better. And I know it might sound very silly to people, but I have kind of analysed the things in life that make me feel stressed and things like bright colours do that. Therefore, I have amended my surroundings accordingly. But the Medicube pads are amazing. AHA lactic acid, BHA salicylic acid, I can't remember what it's called. And it's Korean skincare, and I feel like all I've heard is that Korean skincare is the way forward. So anyway, I got my hands on the Medicube ones. I absolutely love them. I just feel, you probably can't tell, but the actual pad feels so much thicker. So this is effectively my second cleanse. It exfoliates and deeply cleanses, it minimises pores, and I really see a difference. There you go. So pretty much nothing on the pad, a little bit, but that's more so from my neck, I think, because I have had tan on this last week. And I find that this is not a big skincare routine. Then I use Nano Lash, more so because I'm just scared not to. And that's done. The Beauty Pie Triple Hyaluronic Acid Elastic Lifting Eye Serum. My mum has the Beauty Pie membership that we both use, that I really enjoy. And then with my eye cream, I just tap. I use quite a lot, to be fair. And the excess I do on the top of the lid here. Any excess I always just put on the back of my hands, because they also age. Notice that I did my eye cream before I did my serum. I feel like that's more important. It's the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. Holy grail. I swear by it. Always push up. I would love to get one of those Face Gym facials. And then the last thing I do, and I don't do this every night, mostly because I just can't be bothered every night, but I got this Sarah Chapman tool a few years ago, and I really feel like it sculpts my face. Hurts a bit, to be completely honest with you, but also in like a satisfying way. I am probably doing this so wrong. All I know is it needs to be an upward motion. There is a lot to be said for focusing on water retention and using tools like this. I definitely don't know enough to confidently say I'm doing the right motions. But that is my skincare. So nothing crazy at all, nothing long and difficult, because it's just not realistic once you're a parent, I feel, to take an hour doing your skincare in the evening. It just needs to be quick. In the mornings, I very rarely wash my face because I love the natural oils. Hopefully that's a thing and that's not disgusting. I almost prefer my skin first thing in the morning from how it's been throughout the night. It seems to be the perfect suppleness and hydration for makeup. But if I do feel a bit dry, or if I do wash my face in the morning for one reason or another, then I put this on under makeup, which is the Rhode Glazing Milk. I've had this for ages. I remember getting it and thinking, oh, that won't last long because a lot comes out. But this has lasted me like 18 months, so I can really recommend the Rhode stuff. If that's anything to go by, then good quality products. Anyway guys, I am going to end this video here. I mentioned some big news earlier, but I'm going to save that for the next video if that's okay. Motivation to come and say hey next week and click that subscribe button. I hope you all have a gorgeous week ahead and a beautiful weekend. I also want your opinion. I'm thinking of moving my uploads to Sunday evenings rather than Saturday mornings. I would really appreciate your thoughts on that. I just feel like from 5 PM on Sunday is when I like to catch up with stuff, and that's when I watch YouTube. Therefore, maybe that's a nice time for some fresh content to be uploaded. Let me know what you think. Saturday morning, Sunday evening. What works best for your week schedule and when you're most relaxed? I'd love to know. I will love you and leave you, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.